And we're back after seeing that introduction. I kind of got lost when they started speaking Ukrainian, to be fair.
I understood them.
You seem like a worldly man, Bruno. I'm surprised it's not one of your languages.
Yeah, it's actually true. Also, they were not speaking Ukrainian. They were speaking Russian, to be fair. If it was Ukrainian, of course, I would have understood. Easy. It's like ABC, right? But yeah, talking about these two teams, Navi seems to be the strongest one right now. And I want to just like drop this out there. Right now, is Hvoss MVP of the tournament? And if not, who can contest him?
The tournament? I mean, Secret are undefeated. Someone on their team has to be the MVP.
The question is, sometimes the best team is not the one that has the MVP because everyone is doing their job and you can't...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's playing well. He's definitely playing the best on Navi. I think he's in the discussion as one of the most impressive players of the event. But to say he's the MVP when...
I mean, I'm not...
Yeah.
I'm putting this in the table, but I would like to see if you can... think of someone that might rival him.
My top 5 players would be like Hvost, Burning, Ice, and then everyone.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and then like then the whole team Secret. I don't know, but I feel like Ice Vivichi's done incredibly well this tournament. Burning has just been burning. So
I don't know. I feel like for Big God, honestly, it's either Lanham or Xiao 8. Burning's just he's made great decisions, but for the most part, outside of that. Like the game 1 of that first series, he's had so much space created by his team. So,
yep.
There's a lot of players who are doing really well, and then there's some players that are struggling mightily.
It happens. Not everyone.
Someone's got to lose.
Someone's got to lose, indeed. We're going to start game 2 right now, but Winter. We talked about. I asked you before, like if EG could do anything to change that game, but now this is a completely new game, a completely new draft. How do you fight Navi? How do you fight this team that relies so much on a carry taking control, a mid player that is so creative?
I feel like if you actually give away a draft like the first game, they have it's a very classic 4 protect one. You want to have a hero that has disable that goes through BKB like
Doom,
Enigma,
Beastmaster.
Or Beastmaster. Heroes like this to just specifically lock down the most farm hero on one team.
Bring back the Universe Void.
Yeah, even the Void could actually work out. So I would probably think that these are one of the few ways to actually lock down Navi's draft if they were to go into something similar with what they did in game 1.
Sounds good. EG 2-0. Sorry, Navi 2-0. Parker.
You're asking the wrong guy.
EG, I bet on Navi. EG though, they're on the Dire and they have a thing for the Dire side, so I think it's going to go to a game 3.
Okay, let's take a look at the draft and see what happens. This is game 2 of Navi versus EG, and it starts right now.
Well, I wonder if PPD would agree that this is the age of Dire boys. TI4 certainly was, but much has changed in the world of Dire.
If I'm not mistaken, Radiant has a quite significant advantage of something like 54-46 in win rate in this tournament.
Yeah, part of that may be first pick. Do we know how many Radiant sides are getting first pick?
Dire's been getting a lot of first pick this tournament, it seems.
Yeah. It does seem teams are favoring Radiant a bit more lately.
Do you want to check, Brian? Yep. Thank you.
Second pick seems strong.
Second pick is stronger by how much?
Well, maybe that's Radiant being stronger.
Approximately like 20% Radiant.
So 60-40?
It's like 54 to 46.
So 60-40 favoring second pick. The way it works in this tournament is one team gets to pick and the other one gets to pick the whatever they... So you pick if you want first pick or choose side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that first pick is always Dire or vice versa.
Right, of course.
How is it with Dire Radiant?
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
Okay, so yeah, it's more or less the same. It's something between 57 and 60% advantage for both second pick and Radiant.
Well, we're looking at the draft now. We're going to see EG on the Dire. They have the first pick. They go Chen. Now, Navi could have banned this. It's not something that EG are... I don't think you necessarily fear the EG Chen the way you would like the Secret Chen. It's not quite as much of a staple, but AUI plays a good Chen. It can set up Sumail for success mid. It's also just a very non-committal pick. It used to be like you run Chen, there's only one way to run him, but now you can gank early, you can sit back and farm, you can go for a timing push, you could just create space for multiple cores to get out of control. There's so many ways to play this hero. It doesn't really reveal too much.
Absolutely.
And with that, Navi, go for the X.
Yeah, and they can go for Troll Warlord as well. I want to point out that, and feel free to disagree with me, Universe, while he hasn't been playing bad, he has not been a crucial player in EG's games so far in the tournament.
He has not been carrying them to the extent that he was at like TI4.
Exactly, that's where I was going to. And with that in mind, it feels like if you can somehow shut down Sumail, just put him in a hero that he doesn't feel comfortable with or give him a bad start, then suddenly all you have to do is stop fear and the team is running out of gas. And it kind of feels like it is what Navi did on in the first game. The pack was quite inconsequential because he couldn't do much, and with Sumail not having a great game on his Invoker, all that Navi had to do was just go for the draw. You kill the draw, you kind of win the team fight. Maybe that's a strat that we'll be able to see here again.
10 seconds.
I wonder if EG are thinking about a Lycan pick. It's not something they've run a ton of this tournament,
5 seconds.
but we have seen that the Lycan can be very strong, and a lot of teams favor it. We saw, what was it, IG going for it, Seeker going for it. I wonder if they look to mix things up in terms of their drafts.
It's not very particularly strong in this game because Axe can actually just wreck the Lycan's laning phase very, very badly.
That's true.
And EG has not picked Lycan at all in the last 2 games.
That's crazy when you consider how much they used to run the hero.
Yeah, that is true.
It's also the troll for EG, something Fear's played quite a bit of. If they want to go for a Sumail hero now, there's the Invoker, the Queen of Pain, but Navi has not shown their mid yet, so I think you probably wait on that. I'll go for the troll. That's kind of the safe pick here.
Yeah.
Can match up well, man up on the Axe later on. Lanes pretty well against him if he is off lane. It's a very non-committal pick once again.
That is true. And it's also a deny pick for Huvos.
Yes.
Never hurts.
Turn to ban.
There is the Earthshaker van from EG, which again says maybe that they were willing to be a little bit more aggressive with the push. Earthshaker normally one of those heroes that can delay or stall push attempts. So just the only reason why you would want to get that out of the system immediately is because you want to go for something very aggressive in pushing.
You know, with Navi, they almost exclusively run the Core Shaker.
Yeah.
For Dendy mid.
Yeah. The last time they did it, it wasn't particularly. Dendy didn't have a great game. They won anyways, if I'm not mistaken.
They run it with like Troll, Earthshaker, Ven. They play it like.
No, it was against Stoneful and they lost that game.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the last game of the tournament, of the group stage. They ran exactly as you said. They went with Phoenix as well, but the Dandy Shaker didn't have much of an impact.
Alright, so you have Axe. They don't have a ton of burst to follow up with Blink Call. Still have a support available. There's Lion out there. We generally see Goblak getting one defensive support. So if he wants to, I imagine then they'll look for more damage from their cores.
Let's not forget they picked the tree once in this tournament.
The other thing with Axe is that very few teams I feel are just sending Axe to the offlane alone. It's either safe lane, solo in a 1v1, or offlane with a support like a Dazzle or
Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor, yeah.
In this case, Witch Doctor would be actually a very good pick against the Chen. Make sure that the Axe can actually go on the offlane and get a lot of farm done in the lane. So I think Axe is a hero that you want to pay attention to, like as a core on the offlane. You don't want to just leave him there not because that he doesn't really need the protection, but because he can achieve a lot when you have a support on the lane with him.
Yeah, I do like this ban by Navi. Universe Void. We talked about it as a hero that he can use to take over a game, and he's got a troll on his side. So they'll ban one great partner to that troll and just take away an iconic Universe hero.
When you see teams picking a lot of melee heavy lineups like Navi did last game, they might be doing this game based on the fact that they have the Axe. Two of the heroes that you kind of have to be worried about is
Techies?
Yes. you stole the word out of them. No, I was going to talk about Necrophos, which is a hero that EG likes to pick, and Timbersaw, which is a hero that EG doesn't like to pick.
I mean,
much.
you have not seen the Battle Trance Techies, man. That is... He's got that great attack range.
You know, people underestimate Techie's potential as a carry because he has such low base damage, but he actually has a very decent int growth, and because of the items that he goes, if you get, let's say, an Orchid and a Shipstick, you actually do a ton of right click.
Then a Daedalus. Easy. Battle Trance.
Bam.
Pew pew.
And that range. That range.
So the Jug picked up by Navi, maybe also a tiny bit of a... Well, I don't know. It's not really something EG run a lot of. So more just, I guess, a comfort hero, something they can hand off to Havost if they want to. So generally it's Funnick on the Axe. That would mean a Havos Jug. They have the Vayne Score Rubik's. They'll be needing a hero for Goblak as well as Dendi moving into these last 2 picks.
Winter, is this another Magnus game when you have the Juggernaut?
Yeah, it certainly feels so.
And they have the Rubik as well.
If you don't go for the Magnus, other things that come to my mind that could be good is like maybe the Quap synergizes very well with the Axe, and Quap is hard to gank as a Chen early on, so that could be something that Navi is thinking of, and it's certainly a hero Dendi likes to play a lot.
I think they're worried about the Quap counter pick against the Mag in the mid lane as far as giving Mag a really rough time in the lane.
Yeah, Magnus is generally very weak against Quap, and
that is a Sumail go-to hero.
Yeah, they haven't picked Sumail's here. This is a really bad game for Invoker, I feel. Against
Storm is banned.
I mean, it's not
he's been playing Shadow Fiend, that's also banned.
Yep.
Sumail's actually got pretty limited options for the heroes he's been playing. He may have to step outside of his, I don't know if I would say comfort zone, but outside of the heroes he's been playing up till now.
I mean, he played one game of Brewmaster where I feel like he did really well. This would be, I mean, I guess you're against a Rubik, but it's kind of too soon to tell. I feel like they don't have to pick him that big playmaker necessarily, but
I don't know if this is a great Brew game, though. Jug is great against Brew. Axe is also quite good against him.
Phoenix.
The Phoenix.
Is this the Universe hero? We've seen some teams run the support Phoenix.
I think it has to be. Oh, it doesn't have to be, but I feel like it's more likely a Universe hero because they have no lockdown if it's a support
absolutely
Phoenix.
not,
support
yeah.
Phoenix with Chen not generally ideal.
No
partnership,
lockdown, no
yeah.
zoning.
He's a very strong hero, like strong support hero. I just feel with Chen, like you guys mentioned, it's a little too underwhelming. Probably more likely as a core this game.
Yeah.
It does feel like a hero that suits Universe very well as well. It's
Team fight core.
Universe is very good at team fighting and very good at just knowing when to execute, when to jump with that Chronosphere, when to pop the Supernova.
Yeah, I think he's a very good hero in the sense that in this situation, like if you're Navi, you jump in with the axe, you call someone. Phoenix comes in with the Supernova and the slow and the fire spirits. Like he could immediately turn a fight just by getting a good timing after the axe call.
Yeah, their counter initiation is really good. They have the Chen heal, maybe a mech or a send back. The axes, the Phoenix can come in and turn the fight. And Navi will reveal their mid now, picking up the Denny Queen of Pain. So they'll need just a godlike support to round things out. Unless we see something really unusual and like a jungle axe or something crazy like that.
Probably not. Probably not.
I think EG are going to go for like tanky cores that can kind of push it because they've got so much heal from the Chen mech, the Hand of God, the Sunray, that sure Sumail is going to normally plays the more flashy heroes, but having these tanky frontliners who can benefit from all the heals that they're going to get seems kind of ideal.
Oh,
here.
speaking of healing, here comes the PPD
This is
tree.
a combination. I've talked
Oh
to
my
S4
God.
about this before. He actually told me that
Overgrowth and the
Overgrowth
the supernova.
Yeah, Overgrowth plus Supernova. It kind of works the same with the Phoenix plus Medusa, Stone
Right.
Gaze and the Supernova. They protect each other and a lot of synergy in between the fights. And you know, there's one hero that can actually wreck EG right now very badly. I think a support silencer could actually be the answer towards the Phoenix plus Trian combination. in
That
team
is
fights.
true. That is true. It also affects the Hand of God.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that get disrupted by that silencer. So
So they'll ban a Sumail hero now with the Brew. I think the only
What's-
remaining hero he's shown
what's
besides
left?
Invoker.
What's left for him? Yeah, Invoker is the only hero left
I
for
don't know
him.
about
he's played
Invoker.
Puck once. His
Okay.
Puck was not amazing. But he has played it.
They're very lacking on damage.
Ex-
They
Exort-
need something that goes with
Exort.
the troll,
I
feel.
think Exort Invoker, like just because they need a lot of damage and
Yeah.
disable from the Invoker as well.
Yeah, Quaswex feels pretty weak here, though.
Is there a chance he can go for a Morphling mid, maybe?
They don't have the best
Morphling
heroes
is
to deal
gonna
with the
get
Morphling.
wrecked by Quap. That's for certain in the lane. He's gonna have a very hard time against
Well,
Quap.
he'd have living armor. You can send a Chen creep mid.
Yeah, but
Wouldn't be that bad.
it wouldn't be that bad. But he's gonna take a lot. I still think he's gonna take a lot of harass from Quap, and it's gonna be a very tough lane for him, even with the living armor.
Maybe it's your offlane Morphling.
And I'm still waiting for that. I think
carry Wind Ranger.
Yeah, I was about to say Wind Ranger seems okay for EG as a mid. That seems like a Sumail-esque hero. But
Yeah, Wind Rangers, it could work very well this game.
7
Right.
seconds. Navi going out of time.
Wow.
3,
EG not having a
2.
whole lot of bonus time here either.
Oh,
Funny
wow.
core- normally
That's
Funny plays as
support
a core,
lock?
but this looks like a support.
Support lock.
This did
Now,
not
the last
go
time
well
we saw
last time.
support lock, it was versus a Broodmother,
Yes.
which, by the way, I mean, it technically is still in the pool, though I'm not sure how EG would lane that.
The other hero that kind of comes
But they have
up
the axe, so I don't think it's
no,
a very
no,
good
no, no.
third game.
The other kind of blind hero that comes to mind is just the Razor. It's kind of standard one. We saw it once earlier today from Big God. It's not exactly a
Sniper?
spicy pick, but
How about Sniper?
Yeah, Sniper feels...
Sniper Troll?
Sniper,
They have good frontline lockdown. Tinker! Whoa!
Whoa, we're bringing the metagame back.
I forgot this hero was in Dota. It's been so long since we've seen him in a big
Laser
match.
Supernova.
Man, this Tinker is not gonna have a fun game though. They have heroes that can gank him very easily. Axe, Quap, Juggernaut. Warlock can even catch the Tinker when he blinks into the trees. They have ways to deal with him. So, but at the same time, if he gets into a good start, a good snowball game, if he gets a couple of kills, early bots, he can definitely control the game with Navi looking to have the much more 5-man lineup with the Warlock and the Juggernaut. So the Tinker could be a huge annual.
Well, I think EG have won the hearts and minds of the fans, guys. They picked Tinker and Phoenix on the same team. Damn.
Well, let's not forget Warlock is also a very fun hero to pick, even though support lock not the most amazing.
Yeah, Warlock, Schmorlock.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Shannon.
Tinker. This is our first Tinker pick of the tournament, I believe.
Second?
Probably
Second?
not. I think I saw it once before.
Second.
Yeah.
Who else played it? And was it successful? Is the
It
other
wasn't
question.
successful.
It was not. Okay.
It was not successful.
The only Tinker that I remember seeing since the big patch where he got massively nerfed was when IG picked him and they started stacking Ancients. And then I'm pretty sure someone on the team told Faith, you can't farm Ancients with March anymore. And then he ran back to his jungle and started just stacking the big camp instead. So
Anyways, the game
that
is
did not go well.
Yeah, the game is going to start. Yeah. Oh,
QO.
QO, yeah. That sounds like an MVP thing. The game is going to start. There's lots of questions. Can Navi take this 2-0? Will EG party like it's 6.69? We're going to see that with SUNSfan and syndereN. Guys, it's all yours.
Thank you, Bruno. Let's go over the lineups before we get any deeper into this game, Mr. syndereN. We have Sumail playing the Tinker.
Really,
which
Bruno? 6.69? Really? Okay.
Universe on the Phoenix. PPD playing his patented Treant Protector. I haven't seen that in a while. Fear on the Troll Warlord. And last but not least, Aoi on his hero as well. The Chen riding a... I don't know what the heck that mount is. Is that like a Warthog? Oh, that's not a Warthog. That's like a Pantherish.
It's a Lokuthi Barding. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Gotta look that up later. Okay, for Navi, we've got Funnick playing as Axe as expected. Goblak will be playing as Warlock. We've got Dendi on one of his trademark heroes, the Queen of Pain in mid. Vanscore will be playing Rubik like 90% of the other games this tournament. And finally, Hvost will be playing Juggernaut like 90% of the other games this tournament that Juggernaut was not banned against Navi.
Indeed.
So very much comfort zone for Navi. Very unusual for EG. I'm especially looking at the Tinker, and I want to point out before we really get started on this, I feel like I'm seeing a pattern in what the young stars, so to speak, play. Excalibur, Arteezy, Sumail. They play Storm, they play Shadow Fiend, and they play Tinker. All three of them. Heroes, especially Storm and Tinker, I want to say, are heroes that you can really impress with. They're heroes you can single-handedly dominate pub and league games with, and can put you in a good light. It seems like it's pretty interesting to see. Also, Invoker, apart from Arteezy. Love you, Arteezy, but stay away from that.
Well, bottom lane is going to be the Juggernaut and Rubik versus the off-lane Phoenix. What do you think about this lane? They have the Telekinesis, Blade Fury, but of course Icarus Dive is, well, the escape mechanism for the Phoenix. I think they have a decent time in the off-lane without a third member coming to gank.
Yeah, this is not too bad. So one of the weaknesses of Phoenix is the 0 armor, but Rubik's standard attack is pretty weak. So as long as he doesn't get caught mid Icarus Dive by the Telekinesis, he should have an okay time here and get some decent levels.
He's going to have those Fire Spirits ready to go, and probably one of the more annoying spells in the game. Sumail is going to be mid versus Dendi, and how do you play Tinker if you can't March of the Machines Ancients? You just stack the jungle. I mean, how less effective is that in the grand scheme of things?
I don't know. I can't give you a number on like
I want
percentage.
a number.
Okay.
Let's
40.
say, oh, he's taking
Dendi?
a lot of damage mid.
Yeah. This is one way of winning the lane for the Tinker first off. Chen can help, then Chen can stack the jungle. And yeah, you absolutely need to stack the jungle. That's pretty much mandatory. It's obviously a lot slower than if you were to do Ancients, but not to the point where Tinker can't really get anything, right? You can still get Boots of Travel at around the 9-minute mark in the solo mid, or maybe even earlier if you get a kill or or if you just get really good farm. So I think Sumail is going to be okay, and will. I mean, EG are picking it it's not an elimination match, but or elimination game rather. If they lose this game, they get knocked down. So this should be one of their absolute best strategies they're pulling out here. So I think this is a pocket strat, and we might get surprised by how powerful they can be together.
Yep, I mean, Tinker's one of those heroes. He snowballs like very little others in the game. I wanted to quickly talk about the Warlock. I know the panel talked about it a bit. In our experience casting together, the percentage, the winning percentage of a support Warlock just feels like sub 20%. Not to say that's actually going to be the case here. Do you think that this is actually...
I think it is sub 20 this tournament. I think it's 0 and 1.
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's going to take some, or Fear's going to take some damage here from Funnick on the axe. But I mean, Shadow Word is really good as far as damage over time and heal over time. It's just his lane presence isn't the greatest, and he's so item dependent as an initiator.
I want to say the game, for example, okay, so the game Navi lost to Secret, a lot of blame was put on the Warlock pick, but I think they flat out got outplayed. I think that was a pretty poor example of Warlock's support's real potential in that game. I guess that's the game that's most memorable. There might have been one or two other games, but as a support, he's good as a babysitter, like you pointed out. Chaotic Offering can be very powerful, and so can Upheaval. I just think you need to draft it in the right situations, and I think Navi has learned a lot during this tournament about when to pull out their Warlock. So,
I'm not saying this is the case, but they did have like 2 seconds to pick.
Yeah,
and
I guess that's true.
It might have just been a desperation type. Oh, let's just get something we're comfortable with, as the Warlock himself takes a lot of damage. Berserker's Call is not going to connect on anybody at this top lane. But Funnick's...
I think you're underestimating it. We'll see.
Well, I would love to see him do well, just because then we'd see the hero more often, because it's not easy to build a team around a core Warlock to make sure that he survives in lane and gets the items that he needs. If he can get away with being support, that'd be great for the hero itself.
So in other words, you and Bruno should make a team for people that love to see Warlock. It's such a fun hero, and
it is a fun hero.
And then LD says Warlock Schmorlock, and then we have 2 camps already. So.
Well, Tinker, I'm sure a lot of people are sick and tired of Tinker from TI4, but I think it's been long enough that they kind of want to see him back.
He's a flashy hero. He was just borderline broken before. Yeah. Now it's like, it's going to be actually very impressive and entertaining to see a good Tinker performance, because you know in the back of your head that if he does pull off a good performance, it's because he plays extremely well, not because the hero just flat out is insane right now. So that's always enjoyable whenever...
You know what I would love to do right now while there's no action is count the nerfs made to Tinker in the one patch. So March of the Machines does not go through Magic Immunity, meaning you can't... Well, not only for Ancients, but through BKB it doesn't work
and
anymore.
Mud Golems.
That's kind of like 2.
Goddamn Mud Golems.
Sure. We'll just count that as one major nerf.
Okay.
We have Ethereal Blade, has a slower projectile, so the Dagon's not quite as effective.
That's 2.
In addition, I don't know if I guess we count this as a 3rd, but Ethereal Blade doesn't apply to yourself, which was huge for survivability.
I'm down with that as a nerf for Tinker, yeah.
Okay, and what am I missing?
You're missing...
There's one more.
Dagon costs more mana.
Okay.
For the Ethereal Blade Dagon build.
Because we might have a gank at top lane. Owie.
Uh-oh.
Goblack might get first blooded. Looks like it's going to be a really easy one.
All right, you're right. Support Warlock.
Well, this, of course, very early on. I don't know. Okay.
It's true, though. That's a gank that Venge would have definitely escaped.
The level 2 swap from Vengeful Spirit for the win.
Yeah.
All right, well, how many more nerfs do we have?
I think that might be it. There could be one more that I'm forgetting.
Like we might be missing one.
We might be missing one.
Yeah. Goblack's going to TP mid and heal his teammate with... Oh, never mind. The Shadow Word is not being used, in fact. He's just going to bottle up. Okay.
All right, so question for you. Do you think Tinker was over-nerfed? Like, was it too much? Or was it actually necessary to nerf him that much?
Well, we're going to have Telekinesis. Going to hold those horses there, syndereN.
I'm holding on to my horses.
It's going to force the Blade Fury. Vanscore 1 Fire Spirit away from dying. Not going to connect.
Whoa.
Oh, it does. He does pop the health pot a little bit before that, though.
I think
as a result, will live.
I'm surprised he let that dive go through. Or that he cut it halfway, rather. If he followed through with the dive, I think he kills the Rubik there and gets away. He has the haste rune. He had living armor. And Juggernaut was level 6, so uncharacteristic misplay, I want to say.
Fear at top lane. You're seeing the Shadow Word. There's the upheaval. Ridiculous slow onto Fear. Funnick continuing to aggress. Does not have Culling Blade, unfortunately, but this might be enough damage. A Leech Seed is being applied to Funnick. And as a result, Fear will actually get away. So I'll reserve... I'll tell you if Tinker was over-nerfed after this game. But on paper, I think it was extremely drastic.
Okay.
We've barely seen him since.
Nerfed was on a scale from 1 to Morphling after TI2.
Right.
How high would you put it?
9.
Okay, so Morphling after TI2 was 50, so that was really low.
Okay. There you go.
Why did you just assume that was 10? Why didn't you ask first?
All right, Tinker -1. I should have said that. Damn it. Well,
That would have been pretty
Soul
smart.
Ring,
But could.
working towards those boots of travel. That's the point. I mean, if you're Navi, do you want to... I mean, I shouldn't say do you want to. Are they going to try to gank him before those boots of travel come up? I think that's a huge... I mean, that's the easiest point in this game that you're going to get a gank off on.
But ganking Tinker can actually be pretty tricky once he has reached this point already. You rather want to gank him very early on, but at this point he can push out the wave and farm it without risking too much. He's just using a level 4 March. He's checking out the runes. He can of course transition into the jungle if there's some stacks for him, but
and the reason for that's the beauty of having a Chen on your team. Oh, we're going to have some initiation. Funnick gets the Berserker's Call on PPD. Both Funnick and Goblik just running away. The whirling axes are going to connect on both. They're going to force Goblik to die. They're going to force it down his throat. There's a Sonic Wave, not going to be enough to take out Sumail. Dendy taking a lot of damage, going to fall in the end. So a 2-for-0 in 2 separate lanes. EG looking really good right now.
God, that's my new favorite saying.
Get bursted and get forced to die.
Force him to die. Oh, that's so good.
We have a lot of merchandise we can do here.
Yep.
We can work it out. But no, what I was going to say is ganking Tinker is actually quite tricky because with Chen, having a jungle hero in general that can gank and being off the map completely, you never know what lane he's going to be going to. So everybody for Navi has to play somewhat passive unless they want to overextend or have the possibility of overextending.
Well, Sumail is looking pretty good. 9 minutes.
Did you say smell?
Sumail.
Okay.
Did you say smell?
No,
Did you think you said smell?
No, whatever. Well, the Mud Golems, unfortunately, will not be touched by this.
New play-by-play caster, please. LD. LD, come back. I take you back.
It's about 1,500 gold.
I regret everything I said, David.
Working very slowly but surely on those boots of travel. How dare you?
All right, so speaking of smell, you. Okay.
Do you really want to get into this right now? I don't think so. I don't think you.
Do you want to fight? Want to fight?
I'm pretty sure you don't want to get into this. Funnick's gonna find PPD. Oh, Berserker's Call not gonna go off.
Sumail is also pretty
has that
close to being
level
forced to die in the mid lane.
Battle hunger. You like how I'm trying to transition this back to a normal cast, but you keep roping me back. You're holding me back, syndereN.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, now we can talk about.
Okay, so let's have a look at Sumail. He is 200 gold away from Boots of Travel with Bottle and Soul Ring, so has 58 CS in that mid lane. He's outfarming Dendy by 21 CS.
Well, he was in the jungle as well.
Still, okay, so I think he got about 10 or 15 in the jungle, and he surrendered, I don't know how many mid lane creeps for that.
Let's say 1 wave.
Yeah, probably. 4 or 5 or something like that. So all in all, maybe he's ahead by 10 or 15 in lane creeps. That's still a really big lead. Sumail is doing very well.
Well, Funnick has a haste, looking for Chen, but it's going to be forced out, not finding anything to his liking. Has a bottle, Tranquils, 1,400 gold. Is this going to be a fast blink? As Battle Hunger is applied to PPD. This might be a solo kill. Berserker's Call before PPD can get off anything. But Fear is there to strike fear into Funnick's heart, and back he goes. All right, we've seen Blink Dagger first a lot. We've seen Vanguard first a lot. I almost never, and tell me how you feel, I'm almost always for the Blink first.
Yeah, me too. But I've been... My perspective has been changed quite a bit by the games I've seen in this tournament, where there's been some games where the Vanguard just really makes Axe difficult to bring down. For this game in particular, though, he's playing against a Tinker who... I mean, Vanguard, sure, you get the health from the Vitality booster, but it's the damage block that really gives the item value. Tinker doesn't care about your damage block. He's going to laser rocket and put March, and it's very easy to get Marches on Axe because he will commit into the middle of the fight. So I think for that, the Blink Dagger Burst is a better choice in this game. In addition to, there's also other magic damage choices. Phoenix does quite a bit of magic damage too. There's Test of Faith, and also Troll's Whirling Axis in both forms. So, yeah, I'm with you. Blink is better this time around.
Dendy getting super annoyed by Sumail, who just keeps rocketing and lasering his face over and over. And of course, with those boots of travel, it's just going to get more annoying by the minute. Vanscore and Chabos, bottom lane. Juggernaut does have the Omni Slash available in top lane. Upheaval is going to try to slow the initiation, but there's the stun from the Centaur. That is a lot of damage, and of course Sumail can just TP anywhere he wants, and Goblik's even going to go down. They're going to get 2 out of this engagement, and perhaps push even further. That's another thing we didn't really talk about. Boots of Travel, we talked about last game with the Hawk. We didn't really, nothing came to fruition, but being able to just TP wherever Chen is huge.
Especially with the new Chen. who can send his creeps to other lanes and not really commit them and just port them back to himself.
That's a good point.
Can you could make a pretty cool play with that, where it looks like you're TPing bottom, and right before you start TPing, Chen pulls his creeps to himself, so it looks like you're going to end up bottom, and then you end up next to Chen instead.
That's like a 360 no-scope for Chen.
Absolutely. A hero you would never expect to get any no-scope plays.
That's as close to a no-scope for Chen as you can get.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although the initiation with Centaur stuns is pretty legit too. The blink. Yeah. That's pretty sick. Well, Hvos has the Mask of Madness going for the casual Yasha in all likelihood. And Dendi did pick off a couple Chen creeps at the top lane, but Sumail, look at this. How aggressive he's being. Just in the enemy jungle, doesn't give a crap about anything right now.
Oh, top lane.
The real question.
Oh, that's a really good setup for EG.
Stopped, gets netted. There's the Supernova as well. Dendi cannot get out of that overgrowth, and down he goes. Free tier 1 as well, going the way of EG.
Really great play from Aoi, getting the troll trap into the Centaur stomp.
Oh, Universe wants some more. Negative earn charge. There's a rocket. Look how much damage they do. This is ridiculous. 2 dead in the blink of an eye. And they could just continue to that tier 2 if they really want.
Man, I think a lot of people were skeptical about this EG draft. So far, they had no reason to be. It's really working out well for them. 7-0. They take the top tier 1. First tower of the game, as a matter of fact, 14 minutes in, or 13 and a half.
Well, I'm still more skeptical about the
Tinker?
The support Warlock than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tinker was not ganked.
Yeah, so that's the problem, right? If Tinker has a great game and does well, it'll always come back to, well,
look at
it was against the support Warlock,
what
right?
exactly is their gank potential in the mid lane against Sumail? Like we were talking about, that'd be great to gank them.
Rubik Quap is pretty decent.
Yeah, Rubik Quap is okay. Warlock is literally useless. He's just there for moral support, if nothing else.
I want to say, Dendi, he has really long cooldown on Blink. Oh,
right clicks
boy.
will do it in fear. Solo kill, 8-0 for EG.
That's pretty greedy of Dendi, I think, to blink the rune when he doesn't have vision of the rune. Or he did of the rune itself, but not above it, and he blinks in to get it, and then easy kill fear.
I think initiates onto Universe. That's going to be their first kill of the game. 8-1. Of course, Phoenix does a ton of damage in the meantime. Hvos sitting at a low HP pool at the moment.
So to get back to the Tinker thing.
Oh wait,
Tinker,
wait.
It's not enough.
Oh. Wow. Closer than I thought.
To get back to the Tinker thing, it's also difficult to gank any mid laner that has living armor. I think they just like EG's draft was set up around Tinker feeling safe in the mid lane even without needing actual support. Nobody needed to move for him. He just won his lane handily with living armor. At the same time, the top lane went very well for them. And same with Phoenix. Phoenix can also really do a lot with living armor. So it seems like I want to say the core part of this draft for EG is the Treant. And if they didn't have the Treant, they might have not taken it in this direction at all.
How often did he use that on Tinker mid?
Quite a few times, because Dendi was harassing him with the Shadow Strike, and he just kept healing him up. Didn't care about it, got good farm as a result. Dendi is a player who will quite often in the mid lane prioritize harassing the opponent over farming. So if he makes that kind of play, which is what you'll naturally do. Yeah.
He denies no matter what.
Sure. But you'll naturally, when you're playing Queen of Pain, you'll try to win your lane. You don't feel satisfied if you're getting a draw with Queen of Pain in the mid lane in general. So his instinct is to play aggressively into the Tinker, but can't really get any sort of a victory with the Treant helping him out all the time. And now
Battle
EG.
Trance.
Yeah, this is a Roche.
So good. And then the summons of an entire zoo for Aoi. And down goes Roche shortly after. Aegis for Fear, who has a Helm of the Dominator and 2,000 gold on top of that. Juggernaut still working on his Yasha. It might be coming on the Curry right now, actually.
Should be with that amount of farm.
Should
be Yasha. Yeah.
What does he transition towards now? Does he go for a little bit of mobility with a Blink Dagger or damage? Or does he finish your favorite SNY?
I would not recommend. Well, I mean, this is being brought up like every single. Okay, so if you're ahead and it fits your strategy, I think SNY can be a great choice. They're behind. They need more bang for their buck. This is not good enough for Hvos to get an SNY. Of course, Juggernaut with Mask of Madness can kind of do a lot of damage anyway. I think he needs to be more ambitious. This is a decent call.
On AUI, this is going to be a lot of damage. Universe is there for moral support as well. Here's the Omni Slash. Creeps are tanking it a lot. Here comes the Sonic Wave is going to connect on two, along with the Chaotic Offering. Fear at a very low HP pool. And the Supernova is placed as well. Overgrowth on top of it. Look at the damage between the two. And Goblak. It's going to be the third death for Navi. All they lose is the Troll, but that's the Aegis intact. And we talked, I think the panel was talking a bit about the Overgrowth and Supernova combination. We saw it in full force right there.
We've seen it twice, I think, this game, right? Or was that the first time they pulled it off?
No, I think it happened top lane
It
once,
happened
yeah.
top lane too, yeah.
There was a little bit of separation, but this one was like right on top of each
Is
other.
Dendi really thinking about this?
Well, Sonic Wave is down.
No.
His Blink has about 10,000 range now. But away he goes. Does have the double damage in tow. Weppus just checking, make sure I'm right on the 10,000 range. Appreciate that. Shout out to Weppus, best cameraman EU, and NA right
NA
now.
for now. Yeah, okay, so I think a big part of the mistake there for Navi is the blink call from Funnick only catching the Chen. If he does not catch the creeps there, he does not do enough damage, he does not disable the Centaur Stomp and the Ensnare. And Aoi gets all of it off. He immediately stomps the Juggernaut, and then he snares him, forces out the Omni Slash, which is really subpar in that situation.
Navi just can't fight right now.
They have no
2.
chance at all fighting into March with their lineup.
Do you think, okay, what do you go for if you're Juggernaut? Do you just finish the Manta to take off the blind from both Laser and Whirling Axes, or
do you get?
And actually, you can get out of Overgrowth as well. You have a lot of ways.
Manta is really good.
Manta. Both between Manta and Blade Fury, he can take off pretty much anything on a consistent basis.
I agree with Manta.
It is one level of Blade Fury. We've seen this a lot, obviously. The biggest thing that I look for is, as we're going to have Initiation top, Berserker's Call into PPD, Battle Hunger applied as well. Dendi helping his teammate. PPD
he might live. There's no detection.
Guys, and away he goes, and Sumail blinking in. Not going to be enough to take out Funnick. It's Telekinesis trying to catch more Navi members. But a lot was used. A lot of time wasted.
Looks like Sumail's build, Blink into Bloodstone, is going to be completed in just a few hundred gold.
Holy cow. That is insane.
It's a really good time.
Would you consider that a nerf, the Bloodstone recipe being changed? Or the way you build it for Tinker?
So that you don't have Soul Ring anymore?
Yeah, because you always want Soul Ring on the hero.
Yeah,
like
I
he
think
might just buy one on top of that now.
A lot of Tinkers actually get a Soul Ring on top of
so we can add that to the nerf list for Tinker.
I don't know if that's a nerf though, because that means he gets the Bloodstone earlier.
A little faster, true.
So it kind of depends on what your priorities are. If you're, I want to say, if you're snowballing, it's a buff, because then you can quickly get more Bloodstone charges. But if you're behind, it might be a nerf in some cases. Anyway, he's looking to just maximize his farm and put more pressure in the bot lane while Navi are grouping up top. PPD is in a really good position to get an Overgrowth.
Is up now, just came up. Scouting things out, afraid that there might be some sentries there, which there are not at the current moment in time.
Funnick trying to
Berserker's call was, I'm not sure what that was on.
He was trying to get PPD in case he was next to him. Just
I see.
Random attempt. Speaking of your favorite item, SNY, Fear has it.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. You're good friends with Fear, so I'm sure you approve.
Oh,
he's going to get caught out and just brought down in the heartbeat. Okay, the
living armor.
Pretty ridiculous. Culling Blade is going to use to finish him off. Here comes Universe with the Supernova. The egg's going to hatch. Watch out. All Black and Company. Vanscore's going to go down to the March of the Machines. Here comes the Chaotic Arctic, finally used, but Navi is already getting cleaned up by EG and Hole. Chen didn't even get off the Hand of God at all, but it doesn't matter in this fight as the last remaining survivors for Navi are the Juggernaut Chavost and Dendi, Queen of Pain. And there's, yeah, you're right. Oh, Omni Slash. Sumail doesn't have anything like a Ghost Scepter yet, and he's going to fall. That's a big kill for Chavost.
That's the biggest kill he could get. That's his man. Sumail had a mega kill. They're already very far behind. I think this goal yields... Oh, this kill yields... Yeah, 1,100 gold. Wow.
The good news for Sumail is obviously the Bloodstone will bring him back pretty much now, and he didn't really have any gold since he just spent it all. But he did get that Soul Ring like he talked. Do they just keep it in... I guess he doesn't need to keep it in base now, but later on when he gets a fuller inventory,
yeah, you can
keep it in your stash for the most part.
Drag, drop, Soul Ring, and bottle, of course, for efficiency. Man. I'm just really positively impressed by this Overgrowth Supernova. I mean, on paper, it obviously looks amazing, but a lot of combos do. They're just pulling it off and showcasing it very well in this game, Evil Geniuses. And
does Dendi see that, by the way? Okay.
I think so. Yeah, he does. So he knows PPD is there.
There's the finished SNY. Basically a big FU to syndereN from Fear himself.
It's still an okay timing, and they're ahead. So
yeah, I kind of like it on Troll overall.
Yeah, he's one of the best SNY carriers. Bottom lane.
Uh-oh. Sumail.
He's getting out.
He's in the trees. He's good to go. PPD. Perhaps looking for an Overgrowth, but nobody quite near enough for him to pull it off quite yet. Universe, though, on the Phoenix with a Midas now. So I believe, how long ago did you pick that up? It's been a couple minutes probably.
Yeah, I think he got it at minute 18.
Oh, they're going to get telekinesis top lane onto Sumail, who gets the laser and just destroys Vanscore. Never mind. Sonic Wave is used to counter that completely. And Rubik lives with like 2 HP.
Sumail just suicided, by the way.
What's that?
He just suicided. He bloodstone.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the Sonic Wave was wasted, but I think they cast it at the same time, so Dendi didn't have time to cancel and react on that. But he used the Sonic Wave to try to force out the bloodstone, but Sumail didn't have that kill on Rubik anyway, I think.
Speaking of Dendi, working towards his Orchid, not the timing he's hoping for, however. As
no, that is really late. He's died 3 times and hasn't found a single kill. Very uncharacteristic for Dendi on Quap. Even in games Navi lose, he tends to at least get a couple of kills on the Quap. He just hasn't been able to find any opening.
Funnick's gonna get stuck in between a bunch of creeps. Gets the Battle Hunger off, though. Aoi is working towards an Aghanim Scepter. I believe that changes his ult to be about a 30-second cooldown, if I'm not mistaken.
Top. Oh, Funnick got baited in. He's in trouble now.
Miss 2 TP supports for EG. Do they even have to finish him out? The Blade Mail's gonna do nothing in this case.
The answer is
Down he
yes.
goes. Thanks for answering my question, syndereN.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
What
Want to point out the... Did you mention the warding from...
I sure didn't.
Okay. That warding, what the...
That's for Tinker, man.
They are really covering that area. They have 2 wards that are...
They overlap, too.
They overlap a lot. I don't think this is worth it, actually. That's kind of overkill. One of the wards can be very valuable, but putting 2 there... Effectively, they're covering that side of the map really well, and they have no vision elsewhere. So, well, they better get a kill off that, else that's just going to turn out to be a huge waste.
What do you think about Ags on Chen?
I think it's really good because of the Granite Golem.
Theoretically use it twice in one fight, and obviously heals... Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for the Granite Golem, no one would get it.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's still...
It's still good, but that's how it used to be, and people pretty rarely got Ags. Then they would get mech into like 4 staff and sometimes
Hex. It was more of a
Hex.
luxury, I guess. That's true.
It's just way more valuable now.
You can heal your team and your creeps to full health.
And you can put your creeps around and split push with them, so the 30-second cooldown allows you to split push a lot more. It's just all of the changes to Chen have actually buffed his Aghanims a lot, even though it didn't get changed until the...
Oh, Berserker's Call, blind one on PPD. Looks like this is going to be enough to take him out. TP support, though. Universe and company are here. Sumail with the March of the Machines. Double damage on Fear. Doesn't look like they want to commit, because Chaotic off... Literally every ult in the game is up for Navi at the moment. And EG, not interested. I mean, Supernova is... It's an extremely easy ultimate to counter. But with Overgrowth, that's been the beauty of their strategy so far. Especially with the Juggernaut, it can just pop Mask of Madness. And like you were talking about early game, you were bringing this up with Blade Fury. The attacks in between can be used to take out the egg as well. Of course, the stun does go through BKB, but something to keep in mind is the Tier 1 tower. Taking some pressure mid. Fear still with the double damage. And here come the TPs. Havos ended up getting the tower himself. Universe dives out. All right, he gets a little bit scurred.
He really wanted that healing ward.
He has a blink, by the way.
Yeah,
Phoenix.
I like that.
Cool.
It's...
So tell me how you... So blink Supernova, is that typically what's... I mean,
you want to drop your Fire Spirits first, right? But the Supernova, or the Blink gives him, it reduces the travel time to set up the Supernova, and of course it allows him to make plays like he just did with Blink and Supernova out. Okay, this is very risky, Navi.
Funnick getting destroyed, but here comes the Sonic Wave. Fear at half HP. Funnick's gonna be the first to fall in this engagement. Fear will follow suit. It's a 1-for-1. AUI not able to get off much as he's gonna drop to the deck. Universe gets a beautiful Supernova stun overall. Sumail on the cliff with March of the Machines, gonna help his teammates get out. The buyback from Troll Warlord is in tow as well. Dendi stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time, and of all things, Universe gets the kill with Sunray onto Rubik, and now the pressure is on Navi as Goblik attempting to TP out. It's not going to happen. The last remaining survivor for Navi is Havos on the Juggernaut. This is going to be a free Roche. It did cost the Chen death and the Troll Warlord buyback.
That actually looked fairly okay for Navi until Dendi blinked into double March and tried to fight.
Yeah.
That looked really uncharacteristic. There was no easy kill to get. He blinked into 2 or 3 heroes standing in March. That's just flat out a misplay from Dendi there. And
I'm not going to lie. I have not seen a Phoenix this farm this fast. This is really well done by Universe. He has... All he needs is a Mystic Staff to finish off the Shivas, and we've talked about his Blink, Earn, Midas.
And he's 16
years old.
That's Sumail in a year.
I know. It's like his big brother. They really do look similar. It's pretty awesome. Hopefully he's being a
Just
good role
like
model.
Fear is Arteezy's dad. All one big NA family.
Yep. Arteezy just needs to grow a beard, but I don't think he's old enough yet to quite get there. He'll get there, don't worry. I can imagine Arteezy with a beard.
Oh god.
He'd probably have one of those like goatees.
I am already imagining Fear's beard photoshopped onto Arteezy's face.
All right, let's get those tweets here, guys.
That's amazing.
A nice beard on Arteezy. Let's get some variations as well.
Ice's yellow hair as beard on Arteezy.
I'm really disappointed in Ice, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of
But
that
only with his hair, not with his play, obviously.
Just his hair.
Yeah.
If I was his team manager, I'd make him shave his head, and then he'd be good to go.
Might need the Bruno fashion overhaul.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Who was that just had a Yules? Was that the Sumail Tinker?
I think so, yeah.
All right, what do you think about that pickup this game?
Oh, it's Sumail.
Yeah.
So he builds Yules on everyone.
Well, that's a good point. Doesn't matter what hero. Wait, he doesn't. Not Brewmaster or Storm.
That's true. So
Half
on
his hero.
every hero apart from most of his heroes.
There's a 50% chance he'll pick up Yules.
Okay, so the nice thing about Yules, obviously, is if he can predict, for example, the Golem drop or the Blink call from Axe, he can get himself out. It's a nice way of resetting so you can blink in the chaos of a fight and just buy time. More importantly than anything, if he can get the self-Yules off in the middle of the fight, it gives time for Overgrowth, Supernova, and for Chen, even a Chen sent back before it. He can Yules himself and get back to base. It's a very nice hybrid item, good both aggressively and defensively.
How does Berserker's Rage work on Rubik? Does he turn to melee?
He's casting it right now.
I wonder how this works. Alright.
I love how he looks when he does that.
Is this up there with the most useless skills you can get on Rubik?
Well, okay, he gets 40 move speed.
That's true.
He gets bash. I don't know.
A little bit of extra HP, right?
I don't know if the bash works on Rubik. Maybe it does. Because he has the melee form, but he has range. No, yeah, he gets ranged. Melee, I mean. He gets melee when he triggers it. So he can walk in and bash.
Extra HP in melee?
Yeah, he gets a little bit of health, armor.
Okay, it's not the most useless then, but it's really weird.
I really want to see him walk in and bash Fear. That would be amazing.
And then die.
Slap him with a staff
later.
and then die, yeah.
Well, he's going to steal it again.
Oh, nice.
Just wants to refresh that, since there's 0 cooldown on it. Upheaval being popped by Goblak, going to try to delay the push from EG, as we have some TP support now from Queen of Pain, Dendi. Sonic Wave is up, everything except for the spell steal is up, and he really needs... Oh, Juggernaut's actually going to get an Abyssal Blade. Funnick's going to initiate onto Fear, going to try to bring him back into the base. Damage being done by Universe to kite them just a bit. PPD not able to get anything off. He gets healed at the last second. Overgrowth to follow. Chavos is stuck spinning in place. Sonic Wave is going to connect on 2 or 3 heroes, and Navi looks like there's partially on the run. They come back in as the Supernova is just clipping them just from the side. Chavos is going to end up getting stunned by this, and all likely will go down the right clicks of Fear. Down he goes. Remember, Fear still has the Aegis in tow, and Universe looks like he's going to be the first to die in this engagement, or is he? Funnick's going to be the next one. That's a 2-for-0 so far as the aggression continues. Fear still with the Aegis. They can't do anything against him as Vanscore drops to the deck thanks to the heat-seeking missiles, and Sumail forces everybody else for Navi back into the fountain. This is going to be a Rax. A Rax!
Yeah, that was actually a really good attempt from Navi. It was a good counter offering, great silence onto the Phoenix, exactly what they needed to do there. Got a lot of damage out, couldn't really bring down Fear, and he did have the Aegis, so it would have been hard in any case, but I think the biggest loss in that fight is that they don't get Omni-Slash off. That might have made a difference, although Aoi did a good job keeping his creeps in the vicinity of Fear, so it might have been a pretty underwhelming one, but they needed to try it. Because at this point...
I'm not sure, does he have Manta right now?
Yeah.
So he popped Manta, and then he spun... And then Overgrowth was used.
Yeah,
that's what kept him in place.
I think he might also not have had mana. It's pretty expensive to use Manta and Mask. If you use the Abyssal too, that could be his mana pool gone and spin as
Possibly.
well. He doesn't have mana for all of this
Either way,
yet.
he was just stunned. So after the Overgrowth, he was spinning before that. Then Overgrowth came, and then it lined up perfectly with the Supernova stun, which of course goes
how much
to Blade
mana?
Fury.
He has 900. Manta's 160. Okay, he should have Manta. He should have mana for everything, actually. Maybe he came in without full mana. Maybe he just got locked down very nicely by EG.
If only we had Insind replay, we could have seen
that
exactly
would have been
happened there.
very nice.
Actually, that would have been useless because the fight was over. It's only a 10-second
That's
time
true.
frame.
It's a very restricted replay feature.
It's better than nothing, okay?
Yeah.
As Sumail, what's he going with his ultimate orb? It's going to be a sheep stick?
Yes, most definitely.
I believe Fear was working on a Scotty. I'm not sure what the status on that. AUA did finish the Ags, by the way. Wow, he finished the Scotty already. Holy
and
geez.
has 2k on top of that.
Unbelievable. And Roche, what's the timer on Roche we got now? Good old Wepis. All right, we won't know for a couple minutes. And EG, all the time in the world. They have a full Rax bot. They have the melee mid, which is really the only one that matters, unless you're going for mega creeps. And we were just talking about the ultimate orb. What could it possibly be? And he just finishes the sheep stick. Man, they are super duper farmed.
Yeah, this Tinker is going to give all the control in the world to EG. This is what people were talking about when that E-Blade Dagon nerf came in, that Tinker is going to go from being just a flat-out first-phase pick in minigames to being a situational pick where you need to strategize around him and then possibly reinvent the old build with Hex. And it's what we've been seeing. We've been seeing mainly Bloodstone, Yules, Shivas, and Hex. And then E-Blade Dagon is the late-game luxury build, but I want to say this is a pretty good game of Tinker. And now you're going to say, well, it's against a support Warlock, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, sir. The Warlock is support, after all.
He's been doing a great job.
Yeah.
This is still a hero, and I'm not surprised to see EG being the ones to pull it out. They have the young talent, and I also want to say PPD is a big fan of trying new heroes out and coming up with new strategies. So this is probably the player-hero or the player-team combination that was most likely to try out a Tinker.
Yeah, I think PPD is a great captain. Can get salty at times, but is very innovative and willing to try new things.
At times you mean 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
So half of his sleep and all of the day.
That's why he's so salty. Half of his dreams are composed of saltiness in general. It just sets the tone for the next day, you know. So and this is the problem when you have when you have super creeps in the lane with a Tinker on the enemy team, it's just next to impossible without the right hero composition to go up against that. As we're having a Blink Dagger on Rubik, Vanscore.
What do you steal? Overgrowth?
Overgrowth is good. Battle Trance, not really. Supernova, huh?
That's difficult to steal, though.
Because he just pops a spell right off the bat, Fire Spirits or something like that.
Yeah. You have a very short time frame. I think you should be able to do it if you're like spam clicking the egg. You should cast it faster than the Fire Spirits.
I'm going to say Rearm is probably the worst spell you can get.
Yeah, that's pretty awful. Okay, here we go.
The Phonic Sonic Wave's going to clip too. Here comes the Chaotic Offering, Supernova. Nobody's going to take that out. Upheaval continuing to slow, but Phonic's going to be the first to die. And Universe, not able to get really any stuns out, but he's doing a ton of damage to Goblak on the support Warlock. He's going to end up dropping to the deck. That's 3 dead, and EG going to take game 2 in convincing fashion. As Cabos finally uses Omni Slash to get a kill. It's like, yay!
Great strategy. They played their lineup well. They got a lot out of the train early on. They secured their Tinker. They secured their Phoenix. The whole strategy came together with a couple of team fights with Overgrowth. Overgrowth Supernova is just such a long lockdown that it's very easy. Because here's what happens in team fights against Phoenix. When the Supernova is popped, you have 2 choices. Either you all in the Phoenix, or you get the hell out of there. If you're all in, you're fighting in March. So you can't kill the egg. And you also can't run because you get Overgrowth. So you're basically screwed no matter what you try to do. If these 2 ultimates come off together, and you have March, you need to absolutely tailor a strategy to beat this combination of heroes. And Navi, I don't think they had the heroes. They had a pretty good draft. It's not like their heroes don't work well together and can't take objectives or anything. They got a lot of the heroes they like. If you want my honest opinion, you could have replaced that Warlock with absolutely any imaginable hero, and they would have still lost that game.
Okay, I was going to go there, but it doesn't help when it's a support Warlock. I hate harping on it, Cinder.
I feel like he did quite a lot in that game.
He did fine. It's just the hero's not fine in that role.
I think he did a lot. The healing was great to keep Phonic in a good position in the lane. His Chaotic Offerings was pretty good. The Upheaval, I want to say, was the reason the fights took as long as they did, because Fear couldn't reach his targets. So I think the pick had its merits. It also shut down the Chen creeps very nicely in the movement.
He's a very passive hero in the laning stage with an axe. I mean, you would have been better off with Dazzle, I feel like.
For the lane, I honestly don't really think it would have made a difference.
All right, so you guys heard it here first. Warlock support, not very good. Let's see what the panel thinks. You guys better agree with me on this one. Come on. Bruno, everybody.
Warlock.